In typical fashion, we rolled into camp super late because we were packing up the EarthRoamer yesterday. The whole purpose of this trip is a test trip for us to get everything organized in the EarthRoamer and learn all the systems in the next few days. Water boiling took quite a bit longer than I expected, but we're learning the process. So today is the first time I'm making coffee in the EarthRoamer and trying all these new tools as part of my coffee making process.
We learned our first lesson pretty quickly in the evening after we rolled into camp because we had to change Jacob's bandage on his leg. Unfortunately, yesterday he fell, cut up pretty badly, and we realized that the first aid kit is in the back. So very first lesson learned, keep your first aid kit somewhere where you can find it and access it easily. Here's the scene. Jacob's lying on the bed, cut open, leg exposed. We need the first aid kit. It's pitch black out here, and both of our bikes are on top of this bike rack. The first aid kit is inside of that door. I've never put the bikes on and off the back of the EarthRoamer. It's pretty tall. I haven't practiced that. I wasn't prepared to do this at 10 o'clock at night. So here's what I did. More or less, I think this one was open a little bit more. I was able to climb on in here. I had to step on this bar to get into the back. And then Jacob wasn't even sure this would hold my weight, but at this point, we had no other option. I'm standing up here. I've got this door propped open just about this much because it hits the box, so I can't even get it open. At this point, I realized I wasn't actually even sure where the first aid kit was. I just crawled up in here. I had no cell phone. I didn't bring walkie-talkies, and I needed to ask Jacob where he had packed it. So luckily, we had walkie-talkies on our watches. I radioed him and managed to pull out this bag, reach in to get the first aid kit, and pull it out of here and close everything up, crawl back on down, and rewrap Jacob's leg.
So I just finished my day of work, and wonderful thing about being able to do this, and part of the reasoning why we came up to Hood River of all places, is I can leave from my office, which is our living room, to the mountain bike trail, which is literally outside the back of the rig.
So while Jacob is on his bike ride, one of the things that I'm testing out is seeing how our oldest dog, Porter, does when we leave him alone in the EarthRoamer. Both of our dogs do really great when we leave them at home in our house, and we're often going to leave them together in the EarthRoamer, but one situation we're not sure about is leaving our oldest dog, Porter, alone by himself, and to see how he does and if he gets into any mischief or gets really anxious, because really the only circumstance in which he would be left alone without our other dog, Nia, is when we all go bike riding, because he's too old to go with us. He can't keep up. So Nia and I are going on a quick walk together and see how he does for about 5 minutes. I've set up my phone camera on record in the EarthRoamer so that we can see what he gets up to after we get back from our short walk. Just up the road from our campsite is this other campsite, again, another dead end, so it's tucked away, it's private, and oh my gosh, these views. It's really just hitting me now on this trip, like we get to do this all the time if we want to, right? We get to stay out in places like this with gorgeous mountain views behind us. There was someone here camping when we got in late last night in this other spot, but I don't know when they left, and other than them, we're the only people camping up here that I can see at all. We've seen a few people mountain biking today, maybe about 10 or so, but otherwise we're just pretty alone up here in the mountains. I think it's pretty safe to say that another one of our big lesson learned so far is that Nia loves the EarthRoamer life. She's just been chewing sticks all day, hanging out outside. We had a suspicion that this would be amazing for her, and I think this test trip has confirmed that we were right. Hey Porter, what you been up to? The next project on my list while Jacob's out biking is to deal with everything here. Yesterday when we were packing up, we got probably 90% of the EarthRoamer packed, and it got too late, and so we just started throwing things in bags and threw them on the couch, and now I need to figure out where I'm gonna put all this stuff and find a permanent home. Got to get all these things out of their cardboard boxes because the key to storage is making sure everything is a little bit more packable than stackable.
Just got back from mountain biking, threw a clean shirt on, hair's a mess, but just looked at the truck when we were getting the dog out and noticed that we have a giant crack or decent sized crack on the windshield right there. I heard a rock hit it on our drive up and assumed it was fine, but maybe with the sun on it today baking it, it just expanded. So we'll have to get that windshield replaced. Hopefully it won't be too bad.
All right, Jacob got back from his bike ride and then we went together. It was hard.
Yeah, you did really well, but I mean, that was your first true blue single track.
It's probably like my 5th time on a mountain bike ever. I definitely felt frustrated at times the first half. Felt better the second half, but that's what this whole experience is, I guess, is
learning.
Getting out of our comfort zone a little bit with EarthRoamer and biking, and at least for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we'll keep practicing and you'll get much better.
And now it's time for dinner. I'm hungry.
Tonight we are making burgers, so I get to test out the new knives from EarthRoamer, the cutting board, and the barbecue out back, so I'm super excited. So we're going to do burgers with sauteed mushrooms and onions, toasted buns with a little bit of garlic, and then on the side we're just doing it easy and doing some Ruffles chips.
Lesson number, what is it?
I've lost count, but I forgot to put the drain cover in, and one thing about these sinks is you can't get any food down it or you will clog the drain. I just threw the drain cover in and picked the little scraps out. So we're going to try this Cook Partners stove for the first time. Looks like that's on. No, that's off. That's on. Okay, and then we have a lighter. There we go. Perfect. That one's good and working, and then we'll start the grill shortly after I saute some mushrooms and onions. Uh-oh, igniter's not working on the grill.
Light it manually?
I'm not sure. Maybe without the top of the grill on? All right, let's try that. So I don't think the igniter is working. Yeah, I don't see any spark. So we're gonna try to manually do it with a lighter.
Oh.
There we go. That worked. All right, cool. Let's see. Oh, that's looking really good. Delicious. So for the burger meat, I added same kind of thing, a little Worcestershire, salt, pepper, garlic. Just gives a nice flavor. Sometimes I stuff it with the onions and mushrooms, but for tonight, I'll just do it like this. Yeah, it's a cooking show. Why not? Camp cooking. Since I rode 2 rides today, well, one big one and one shorter one, I'm gonna do 2 burgers because I'm quite hungry. Well, here's a little recap of today. So we got up this morning, did some work all day, sat inside, sat outside, had a great time working with this amazing view of the mountains. And so far, I'm unbelievably impressed. Like, my office at home was great and I really loved it. Being in my house, we had some views of the mountains in Central Oregon, but nothing compares to being able to park right next to the mountain bike trail on the top of the mountain with views of multiple mountains, Columbia Gorge, the river, downtown Hood River, and be able to work and then go for a mountain bike right from your vehicle without ever having to drive. So it's just amazing. So first impressions, doing this full time, I love it. Can't wait for more. So currently it's set up a little tall, but that's because we're parked in a kind of an angle up. So the back's really high, the front's low, but I'm also tall, so it doesn't really bother me, but this doesn't have to be the height you cook at. So you could cook at a lower height if you drop the whole rig down, but I don't want to deal with re-leveling it. So I'm happy just to cook like this. But if you see me reaching up, you don't have to cook like this.
We also bought a step stool just in case.
All right, I think burgers are just about done. Good morning. It's another beautiful day in Hood River. Decided to take the dogs out for a little walk, and then we are going to do some rooftop yoga.
We found a really nice road that's gated off, and so we can walk the dogs without worrying about cars. And it has incredible views of the mountains and the big tall trees. It really is just such a gorgeous spot we found up here in Hood River. Our very first EarthRoamer trip, we were in a different camp every single night because we were just trying to get home. And on this trip, we're gonna be at this camp for at least 3 nights, if not 4.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how we're gonna feel about the sense of like moving every day versus staying in one spot for multiple days. If that's gonna feel like it's too long, or if it's gonna feel like it's not enough time. I'm curious about what we're gonna figure out is our happy medium as we travel for nights we wanna spend in a spot.
I mean, the one night seems to go pretty hectically. So we'll see. I mean, 2 is a nice amount of night so far, but we'll see how 3 feels.
I definitely think a big factor is probably going to be what that area offers. So here it really is just like walking, mountain biking. If we're somewhere where we can also paddleboard, that might increase our number of days we want to spend there, because we want to be able to do all the things we possibly can at that campsite.
That's true. I think if the site doesn't offer much, it's probably going to be pretty boring pretty quick. That might be the sites that we do one night. They're just more of a pass through. They don't have too many recreation activities. And we'll see also how quickly the dogs get kind of pent up of the site and ready to move on.
Okay. Another new thing is we've never actually gone up on the roof. So we're gonna go up there, do some yoga, and figure this out. Okay, I've got my roof opening remote. I hit the power button.
Oh, hang on. You need the, this on, roof hatch.
That would make a difference.
On. There you go.
I see the light is blinking.
Good.
Does that mean anything? Pressing and holding maybe? What am I doing wrong?
Oh, that's the wrong remote.
Oh. It says fantastic
Yeah,
vent.
that's
so...
the fan to your
okay, I'm gonna
back.
turn it off.
Or head. Here you go.
Right back into the remote bag. I was like, I thought it was the white one. It is the white one, right?
White one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. There's also a light on this apparently.
Yeah. I think it's the sides. So if you hit it.
Oh, look at that. Okay, well that light 1 works. Oh, there's light 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because this hatch is motorized, we are going to bring this up with us, because what if it suddenly closes on itself and then we'd be stuck on the roof? We've been told they're a little bit finicky, and there's a rain sensor on this that tends to not quite be the best. So remote, it comes with us. Try to figure out how to get up here.
My leg, I can't get out.
1 second.
Oh, right. Nice. Uh-oh, what's that?
Uh-oh.
Let's see if it's rolling around loose. If it is, that's not good.
What is it?
Something broken.
Yeah, clearly it's supposed to be like that. It's pretty cold and I'm getting hungry, so we're gonna pause yoga and come back to that tomorrow morning. This is the right time to turn on the sofa and then turn on the right counter, and we can put the iPad on it and do our recipes, because I took photos of all of our favorite recipe cards and put them on our Google Drive, so then we can just have a little cookbook right here. It's just like home. Like you put your cookbook in the stand, just our iPad.
So we've heard a lot about the, let's call them notorious pots and pans from EarthRoamer. All the pots and pans are basically fit in one drawer, and they're stacked together only one way that you could put back. So we haven't undone them yet because we're a little intimidated, but I'm gonna try today, and we're gonna film it so we know how to put it back together later. So they're all in the bottom drawer, and this is the entire pots and pans set, which is everything we should need to be able to cook on the road. So we have a couple handles. This just went over like that. And then this is a saucepan. And then we have another pan. This one's kind of like tapered. And then we have this lid, which is handy. And then the lid's like that.
Will you put the lid
Oh yeah,
like
the way it's coming out.
Yeah.
And then we have this lid, which is like that. So it's gonna go like this. And then all the individual pots stacked with then liners inside, so they don't rattle around. So there is the small one, then there is the medium one, then there is the large one, and then you have the strainer or steamer, and then the big base. So lots of options. Basically, they fit only one way back together. Let's see if I could do this. The trick is remembering how it goes later. All right, that's not bad. All right, however, I just undid it and put them back, so let's see if it fits.
Drawer, like...
This is a true test. See if the drawer closes. It looks right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right. We figured it out. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing but actually use them to cook dinner.
One of the last things that we need to test out on this test trip is showering. Now we've done a lot of like body showers, quick things, rinses, soaping, but never have I washed my hair in the EarthRoamer. So we currently have about 54% left of our water. We've roughly an 85-gallon tank, and I read that showers typically are about 15 to 20 gallons is like the average person's shower. So that means if I take like an average person's shower length, we'll be down to like 20% by the time I'm done. My hope is we don't have to use that much water. So this is our first experiment to really figure out what is showering, like a full shower, actually gonna look like in the EarthRoamer. So the water was plenty warm. It was actually a little bit too hot. So the water heater works really, really well. And I'm pretty sure it works on solar, so we never have to worry about like using too much diesel to run the hot water. I did try really, really hard to be conservative in my water. So like I turned it off when I was shampooing, turned it off for conditioning, only really used it to like rinse my hair and my body when I needed to. I was a little cold because of that, not having the hot water on. And I also didn't turn the fan on because I knew I was gonna be turning the water off. And I knew it would freeze if I had all that cold air like blasting into the shower and the water was off. Jacob mentioned it was getting a little like steamy in the EarthRoamer because of that. So maybe there's a good balance depending on how much water I end up using. Maybe I can leave the water on, turn the fan on. I think it's just gonna come with practice as we figure out what the right balance is. All in all, we've been here for almost 3 full days and we have not been plugged in, right? We're running on full solar and we haven't turned the car on once since we arrived. As far as off-grid living goes, this really is very impressive.
So for Packing Up Camp, it's a bit of a ordered process because with the bike rack, we can't actually open the boxes when the bikes are on. So we have it configured in a way where we can swing the boxes out with the rack closed, which is perfect. They just clear. So we can put everything away from camp and then I put the bikes on last. So let's go ahead and clean up what we have so we can move campsites. There it goes. This table goes on top of the rack on the back of the EarthRoamer boxes. So it just collapses into itself. Legs slide up and then there are these pins that just release. And then this goes face side down, like that, and pops into place. So this is Alyssa's first time driving the EarthRoamer, so we're gonna see how she does.
I'm having trouble.
No, you just gotta keep it straight. Yeah.
Going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, you just gotta practice. You'll get it down.
Practice what? Like, what am I trying to accomplish? Like, what is my end goal here?
You're over going back and forth.
I know.
So you're just you gotta keep wiggling the steering wheel until you get in the right position. I think
I'm pressing. Oh my God! Wow!
It does not stop fast. So lots of space.
I was like, I'm pressing the brake. Nothing's happening.
Nope. Yeah, it's heavy. It's a semi truck. All right, so I'm going up to walk this trail because we pulled up and trees on the road, branches down. We're a big vehicle, so we're gonna see if we can actually fit through here. Some trees down for there. It's always good, especially on a tight, narrow trail like this, to walk a little bit and see if it's doable, especially considering there's still snow on the ground and this is early in the season. Right here, see branches, crossed branches, they're broken up there at the top. If we want to do this trail, we have to do some clearing on this part at least. We have a mile of this or so. Might be doing this till dark if we want to camp this spot.
Okay, what did you see?
There's branches across the road in most of the places, and it's definitely dropping in temperature. It's also gonna get dark here soon because it's after 6 and we're in the forest. So I think if we try this and it gets dark, we're gonna have a really hard time backing up down the trail.
Yeah, there's no turnaround spots.
Not that I could see. Or we just go up to Mount Hood or maybe over to the lake. If we were starting early in the day, this probably could be doable. Potentially maybe campsite number 2 up to Lookout Mountain. And it looks like we're just past the opening date. So we're good to climb up this mountain and see what it looks like. I would say we're probably not gonna make it that way.
Which way?
To the right.
Oh, that's where we're trying to go?
I mean, not anymore. It's my hope today,
Yeah.
too. Yeah. We just parked on the lake shore.
So,
My only
campground's closed.
Yeah, the only question is, do they have any signs that say like no? We made it to camp. Luckily, the lake camp that we were hoping for was, I consider open. A little tight squeeze between the trees to get here. So we got some hidden striping on the EarthRoamer, but that's the nature of it. And we had to go through a little bit of snow, but it wasn't too bad. And so we are tucked in the trees because it's quite windy today at this place. But then we have the lake right behind us, and we're currently getting the dogs dinner. They are being fed. And the nice thing about this camp is in order to access the lake, it's right here on this beach right behind the truck. Really nice place to camp, and there's still snow on the other bank across the lake. So it'll be a chilly night, but should be really pretty in the morning. We just finished our test trip. It went really well.
And we definitely learned a lot and feel pretty good about how prepared we were to get started. So stay tuned, because in a couple of weeks, after we finish a few house projects, we are going to hit the road full time.